Hi everybody, Ms. Ladybug here, bringing you my first in a series of YouTube videos. You did see a few videos that I shared back in July and August, and I think maybe even a couple in early September when I was going through my detox. I'm essentially through what is classified as detox, but I am in post-acute withdrawal or protracted withdrawal. Actually, there's also another classification, benzodiazepine withdrawal syndrome. So May 10th was the last time I took a pain pill, and I was using medical marijuana to supplement and titrate down off of, I was taking between 45 to 90 milligrams of oxycodone a day. That was just one of my medicines. I also, I was on oxycodone, Xanax, and then I was changed to Ativan, Ambien off and on at times for sleep. I was also on Flexeril or Robaxin for muscle spasms. A variety of different non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, but typically I would just go back to ibuprofen and Tylenol and use both of those, which have just killed my gut. Let's see. And I was taking Zyrtec for my food allergies and my seasonal allergies, 2 to 3 Zyrtec a day, plus a nasal inhaler, Flonase, and albuterol for allergies. So I started about 2 years ago using medical marijuana and trying to titrate down off of stuff. I was using Rick Simpson oil, which is like a cannabis oil, and that's what I'm still using. And when I have it, it really, really works to keep me pretty stable as far as pain. I still have pain, but I had pain when I was on pain pills also. But on the pain pills, my head was fuzzy and my back still hurt, and I couldn't go to the bathroom, and it just wasn't sustainable. This is more sustainable using medical marijuana. I can grow a plant, or 2 or 3, which I hope to do, because it's not just one size fits all. I've learned, there's sativa and there's indica, and then there's hybrids, but there's also all the terpenes, and there's CBDs and CBAs and CBC. I don't remember what the other ones are, but there's all these components. There's things that are we have receptor sites for cannabinoids, and so it's working for me. For pain, it's working. I thought it was helping with anxiety. I did not know until I actually completely titrated off of my benzodiazepine that I was taking as prescribed by my primary care physician for sleep and anxiety for 6 years solid. And I've had benzodiazepines off and on for 20 years, so I wasn't naive to that. Even as a retired nurse, I knew that there was an addiction possibility, but I had no idea of how it upsets my body from making GABA, which I have GABA receptor sites, and they aren't being accessed right now because I took benzodiazepines for years, and those filled all those sites, and it's a big mess in my brain. So anyway, I came off the Benzos on July 12th, and I had a lot of stressful stuff going on. Where I lived was very stressful. There was I was working way harder than I should have been. I was physically and emotionally way too involved with too much and too many people, and people that didn't really have my best interest at heart like I was for them. And that's just my perception. There's people that don't agree, and that's fine. Anyway, I got off the benzos, and I just got more and more. I had road rage. I had rage in general. I had paranoia. I had severe sadness. I could not talk with anyone. And I was alone. I was all alone. It really hurt because no one came and put their arm around me and said, "Hey, what is going on, Deb? Let's see what's going on." It was more of I was being treated and judged, kind of like I was misbehaving, like it was a moral issue. I was being a bad person. Well, I did bad things. I had a couple psychotic episodes because of severe stress. And, yeah, that's what happens when you get really stressed. I basically sat in my trailer for 4 days with 110-degree heat outside, waiting for the tenants to move so I wouldn't cause any troubles with them. And I just sat there and watched all these people coming that I didn't know, people coming and going, and they were supposed to be gone on Sunday, and they weren't gone, they weren't there. It just was, in my brain, it was unsafe, and I was scared. And that's all I knew. And I ended up having, on Tuesday night, I had a psychotic break. I had been drinking, and that was not a very good thing to do. I highly recommend not imbibing like that. Anyway, when I had my psychotic episode, I was going to hang myself. I was going to burn myself and burn the forest. I broke out a number of windows of the house that I was the property manager for. And then I locked myself in my trailer and would not respond to anyone who came to the door, which 2 different people came trying to look for me the next day. And then I decided to go hide in the woods. And anyway, the police finally came and they took me to the hospital, and that was a good thing. I needed some help. And I was really grateful because I got put in the psychiatric unit, and after I settled down from being so mad, because I was just, the anger that I had, it was just, it engulfed me, and I couldn't control it. Through all of this, when I would have a psychotic episode, I still remember everything. It wasn't about losing my mind and not remembering. It was about, I was so angry and I couldn't control my thoughts and my behaviors, and it was like I was outside of myself and watching. It was like a disassociation, and it was freaky. It scared the heck out of me. So once I was able to just relax for a couple days, and then finally I was like, I want help. I didn't know it was going to be like this. No one told me that coming off benzodiazepines could potentially lead to this, let alone that it does lead to having some really pronounced psychological impairment for an extended period of time. Someone comes off opiates or even heroin, you get dope sick, but, you start clearing up. And, the other day I'm out blowing with the backpack blower, just bawling my eyeballs out. And I'll just tell you, I wrote them down, but I'll tell you some of the things I've dealt with. Besides road rage, I've had road rage and about ran people off the road twice. angry and edgy, paranoia, feeling like I can't hardly breathe, getting panic attacks. They'll just come on and I just can't breathe. Oh my God, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. My chest is so tight and I don't know what I need and I don't know what I want. And those are horrid. Suicidal ideation, which is, from what I'm reading, quite pronounced and quite common with benzodiazepine withdrawal syndrome. And I suggest you Google that. Benzodiazepine withdrawal syndrome. See what the signs and symptoms of that are, because no one told me, and this has been hell. I'm at 4 months and I'm suffering. Some days I'm really suffering. And some days I'm okay, but it's not linear. It's discombobulated, and that's how I feel. So when I was in the hospital, the diagnosis they gave me was severe PTSD and severe insomnia. It didn't say anything about coming off benzos or coming off opiates or being in post-acute withdrawal. And yet I know what is going on, and I've talked with a couple people in the mental health industry, and they agree with me. It's unfortunate with benzodiazepines and many people that are on opiates. You get treated like an addict, but you're not really an addict. Your body became dependent on it. You were doing what you were trusting the doctors on. You were, you go to the doctor and you say, I've got this going on, and they're like, okay, well, so, go, you need to strengthen your back, and so work with the physical therapist or do some exercises, and then here, take this will help with your pain, and then, so you can't sleep, so, work on your sleeping habits, develop a sleeping routine. If you do the same thing every night at bedtime, and you go to bed at the same time, and you get up at the same time, and here's a pill to take to help you. That's what it was. And then I needed more and more and more. And now with my research, I'm realizing some of what I thought might have been fibrofog or stuff with my stomach had to do with fibromyalgia. Very well could have been my body reacting to long-term benzodiazepines, as well as the Z drugs, because I use Zolpidem, which is Ambien, for chronically. I used that for 5 years, and that was 15 years ago. And I've had severe insomnia since then. So go figure. I took Ambien for insomnia and developed severe insomnia. Do your research, people. Do your research. As far as my brain, I have brain fog. I'll be going to do something, walking across the lawn, and I'll stop because I hear something and turn, and then I'm completely lost. I have no idea what I was going to do. So I have to come home and sit and wait and see if I remember. Sometimes I don't ever remember. But yeah, I have severe brain fog. I can't read very well at all. I have a book. I used to read 4, 5, 6 books a week. I've had a book sitting there, and I've read the first page probably 100 times, and I can't get further than that. I have magazines here, and I'll pull one out, and I look at the pictures for a minute. I can't focus. I can't stay focused. I haven't been driving since the 1st of September, and it's probably a really good thing, because besides I don't have my glasses, they got taken to Goodwill or wherever all the rest of my belongings went when everybody cleared my stuff out. What was I saying? Anyway, yeah, my brain doesn't work so well. So, yeah, my brain doesn't work so well. I also get, sometimes once in a while, I'll have, I don't know how to call them, electrical impulse in my brain. And I'm thinking that's when it's trying to heal or trying to connect, because it's just like, zzz, 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 and it doesn't feel very good. It hurts. It really hurts. So I have visual disturbances. Sometimes I have floaties. Sometimes I have, well, there's floaties, and then there's other times there's almost like prisms, weird stuff. I'm very sensitive to bright lights. If I'm out in the sun, I have to have sunglasses on. I just cannot tolerate the sun in my eyes. I'm very sensitive to sinus, to smells, aromas, perfumes really are hard. Gasoline and propane. I can smell if something, Shasta went and rolled in something really bad, and she stunk really bad last night, and I just can't tolerate it. As far as eating, I vacillate tremendously. I have gone through some periods in the last 4 months where I don't eat at all, and I don't have any appetite. And then I am really hungry and want to eat everything in sight. And then I'm obsessing and can't stop myself with chocolate and potato chips. I found some that I could have, and I think part of it is that I'm saying, oh, I can have these. Yes, they're not organic, but they don't have anything I'm allergic to. And I've given up and lost everything. I've given up smoking and gambling, and I don't have a partner anymore, and I don't have a house of my own, but I do have a roof over my head, and I'm really grateful for that. But I've lost a lot of stuff, and so it's like, oh, I found these, and they're yummy, and I want that. I want something to feel good. So I'm a little obsessive about some eating, and it is starting to show, so I'm going to have to do something different, because I don't tolerate having extra weight on me. I just got through losing 40 pounds over the last year and a half, 2 years, and I'm not going to put it back on, because that just hurts. Let's see. My arms and legs just feel like it feels like everything that's inside my skin weighs so much and is filling my skin up. It sounds weird, but that's what it feels like. They just feel full and heavy. And, you've heard of restless legs. Well, I have restless body. Something's moving all the time. There's a term for it. Ataxia. I don't know. I'd have to look it up again. I don't remember. But I rock. I tap my foot. My leg bounces. I stretch. So yeah, I feel restless all over. I have itchy scalp, itchy skin. I've got some breakouts on my face and on my back. My skin feels crawly at times, like there's bugs on it. I have a sensation when I'm in a twilight place trying to go to sleep, and it feels like there's something walking at the end of the bed, like a kitty cat walking over my legs, but there's nothing there. And it feels like the bed's got, like it's moving next to me. It's weird. Weird. A couple of the other things that I have encountered and had to deal with is cutting. I've been compelled to do self-injury on a number of occasions since I came off the benzodiazepines. And people ask me what I get from that, and I get that I'm alive, that that moment is real, because a lot of times this is feeling really not real. This is rough. Having dissociative moments and having psychotic episodes, that's not your usual cup of tea. Anyway, I also have some balance issues. I always feel kind of like we both wobble and we don't fall down. I just have to be careful. I'm clenching. Oh, so bad. So bad. My jaw gets so tired. And my shoulders. I feel like I'm holding myself really tense sometimes. It's just very uncomfortable. I am obsessing about matters of my heart. About the things that I've lost. It hurts. And I'm trying to just let it go, but it's a lot to let go. I lost my home that I owned. That's the only thing that I owned in the world. All my clothes, my jewelry, my memorabilia, my photos. And that's just the stuff that I lost. But I also lost the man that I thought was going to be in my life, and this was just too much for him. Or too much for us. We can't figure it out. He won't talk, and I can't figure it out by myself. And anyway, so I miss him tremendously. And my children, they've had a hard time with this, and they have their own perceptions on what's happened, and it has created a divide between us. My father and my brother, the divide that was already present became this huge abyss between us, because I just am very hurt. And so this has just been one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. I've been a single mother. I put myself through school to become a nurse. I battled my addiction to gambling and got over that. I quit smoking cigarettes 3 years ago. I have quit these medications and did my detox all by myself, on my own, at home. And I've lost everything that I owned, and I'm starting over fresh. And this is just all really hard. And I'm sharing it not for sympathy or empathy, but as part of, like I've always shared my experience, strength, and hope. I'm still trucking. And yes, suicidal ideation is a big component of benzodiazepine withdrawal syndrome. It's not uncommon, and I have struggled with that in the past, but this has been very, very difficult to struggle with the suicidal ideation and the cutting, and the overwhelming sadness and depression, and then the panic attacks. And so, my body is trying to heal, my brain's trying to heal. I need to produce some more GABA. I need to have those receptors get calmed down a little bit. They're overexcited. And anyway, I encourage you, if you love someone who's going through this, please keep loving them. I know your loved one is probably acting so strange like I did, but they'll come back. From everything I'm hearing, they'll come back, and I'm trusting I will come back. And if I'm by myself, I'm by myself. But if you have a loved one that's suffering like this, please, it just makes it so much worse if you start making it difficult. Please don't push and poke and judge. Just love them and come up alongside them, and physical proximity. Just a phone call sometimes just isn't enough. this is really the weirdest thing, and you just need a lot of help. And you need somebody there that'll almost take your hand and say, here we're going. And if you've been on benzos and you want to get off, I suggest going to Benzo Buddies. It's a website I just found. It talks about titration. It talks about a couple different methods of titration to get off of the benzos, things to watch for, things to be aware of. Anyway, I had shared some of my horror stories of when I was detoxing, a few short videos, and decided it was time to make a full-length video and share kind of an update of where I've been and where I am now. And I'm working with a counselor. I just got my insurance, so I'm going to get a doctor and a psychiatrist. I'm going to get glasses again, thank God, because I haven't had my glasses. I lost them when I lost my trailer and everything, all my belongings. But anyway, I'm moving forward, and I'm finally kind of getting plugged in. This is not like you break your leg, you go in and you get pins put in and a cast put on and go home and let it heal and everyone can see it. This has been, I had counselor, and then they switched me to another counselor because I needed a specific type of counseling. And then I was in the hospital, and then I was out of the hospital, and then I was in the crisis center, and everyone has had a different view of what's been going on with me, and it's been very chaotic and not linear. And so anyway, I'm doing the best I can, and I'm still here, and I'm really, really grateful for the people who have supported me and have shown that they've cared and have helped me along the way and given me a hug or a smile. And I just wish you all a journey that isn't quite so painful, and to have hope that this is temporary. And it's hard to feel like that when it's going on for months. But I'm going to trust what others have told me, because that's what I did in my gambling addiction, was I trusted what other people before me who got well said. And they said, if you do these things, well, so that's what I'm doing. People have said, stick with it. It might take 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm doing the best I can. And I'm going to share as I go along in hopes that maybe my story can help somebody else. So anyway, have a great evening. Peace.